What happens after our final breath? Does the essence of the self dissolve into nothingness, or does it pass through realms beyond human understanding? Welcome, fellow seeker, to one of the most profound and mysterious teachings known to humankind. Today, we delve into the heart of a sacred and mystical text, the Bardo Thodol, commonly known in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Imagine a guide that not only accompanies you through death, but also illuminates the journey beyond. This is the essence of the Bardo Thodol. And no, it's not simply a book about dying. It is a comprehensive map, a spiritual blueprint to navigate the stages after death. Together, we will explore its teachings, unlock its profound wisdom, and perhaps uncover the true meaning of existence itself. The Bardo Thodol was composed by Padmasambhava, a legendary and almost mythic figure in Tibetan Buddhism. Hailing from India, he is revered as the one who brought Buddhism to Tibet during the 8th century. In Tibetan tradition, he is known as Guru Rinpoche, meaning precious teacher. But Padmasambhava was far more than just a monk. He was a deeply enlightened spiritual master, a yogi who attained powerful mystical abilities and profound insight. The Bardo Thodol was conceived by him to serve as a guide, not only for the living, but also for the dead, offering an opportunity for liberation even after the last breath has passed. Padmasambhava's extraordinary gifts were apparent from a young age. He was recognized as a Mahasiddha, someone who had reached a high level of spiritual realization and who manifested miraculous powers. He was invited to Tibet by King Trizong Detsen, who sought to spread Buddhism and create a unified spiritual foundation for the kingdom. At that time, Tibet was home to numerous local beliefs, especially the Bon religion, which was rooted in shamanic practices and nature worship. This spiritual diversity presented challenges for the Buddhist mission, and Padmasambhava's work was essential in bridging these different traditions. He used his deep knowledge of magic and tantric rituals to harmonize these beliefs, taming local spirits and deities, and integrating them into the Buddhist fold. Padmasambhava went on to establish Tibet's first Buddhist monastery, Semi, and began imparting transformative teachings about the mind, the nature of reality, and the cycle of existence, known as samsara. In Tibetan Buddhism, death is not seen as an end, but as a transitional stage, a moment that can lead to spiritual freedom. Padmasambhava recognized that at the time of death, the mind enters a special state, freed from the physical body, making it more receptive to ultimate truths. He understood that this was an extraordinary opportunity for liberation, but that most people, when they die, are consumed by fear and confusion, preventing them from seeing this opportunity. His mission was to create a manual that could be used by the living to guide the dying, or that could be studied in life to prepare the mind for the bardos, the stages of transition after death. In essence, his goal was to relieve suffering and offer a path to enlightenment, even in the face of uncertainty and dissolution. This compassionate approach lies at the heart of the Bardo Thodol. He also knew that not everyone would achieve liberation in their lifetime, but he saw death as the final opportunity to break free from the cycle of suffering. He designed this guide so that practitioners would be able to recognize the clear light, the purest state of consciousness, at the time of death. The 3 stages of the Bardo Thodol. The Chikhai Bardo, the moment of death. In the Chikhai Bardo, the soul experiences the actual moment of death, where the body dissolves and consciousness is freed from its physical limits. After this dissolution, the soul encounters the primordial clear light, described in the Bardo Thodol as an immense, radiant, and pure light. This light is a direct manifestation of the absolute nature of the mind, a state of pure consciousness, free from duality, fear, or attachment. Some describe it as the higher self, others as the universal mind. Many names exist for this state of peace and unity. For the spiritually prepared, this Bardo presents the opportunity for final liberation. If the soul can recognize this clear light as its true nature, it achieves instant liberation, nirvana, and there is no need to progress through the remaining bardos. This recognition is not tied to any rituals or dogma. It is a direct experience of truth, where the mind sees itself clearly and without distortion. At this moment, all identities, attachments, and karma dissolve. However, for those who are unprepared, the intensity of the clear light can be overwhelming and frightening. Instead of recognizing it as a reflection of their true nature, the mind may perceive it as a threat, retreating from it in fear and missing the opportunity for liberation. This leads the soul into the next stages of the bardos, where it encounters more distorted and limiting visions, shaped by its karmic tendencies. The Chönyid Bardo, the Bardo of visions. As Carl Gustav Jung once said, gods and demons are projections of the unconscious mind, powerful forces that remain dominant until they are recognized for what they truly are. In the Chönyid Bardo, the soul finds itself in a state where physical boundaries no longer exist and consciousness is freed from the body. Here, the soul encounters projections of its own mind, which can take the form of both serene, angelic figures and terrifying, monstrous visions. This Bardo reveals the essence of the mind, where everything that has been repressed, desired, or feared manifests in vivid, intensified ways. The visions in the Chönyid Bardo reflect the soul's emotional and karmic history, and they appear in two forms, peaceful and wrathful. In the peaceful vision stage, the soul encounters images of benevolent deities, symbols of enlightenment and divine qualities. These figures, which may appear as Buddhas or Bodhisattvas, radiate peace and offer a sense of calm. However, for those who are unprepared, these peaceful visions may be overwhelming, leading the soul to dismiss them or retreat in confusion. If the soul does not recognize these peaceful images as expressions of its true nature, it is then confronted by wrathful visions. These represent the more intense and suppressed emotions, fear, anger, and desire, manifesting as terrifying and monstrous beings. It is important to understand that these wrathful deities are not external, malevolent forces but projections of the mind, revealing the attachments and passions that keep the soul trapped in samsara. The Chönyid Bardo is a state where the mind's projections appear with greater clarity and vividness, almost like lucid dreams. These visions are not arbitrary but are the direct result of the accumulated karma and experiences of the soul. They serve as opportunities for insight, revealing aspects of the self that need integration or transcendence. If the soul can maintain awareness and recognize the truth behind these visions, it can achieve liberation. The key is to remain focused on the clear light, the underlying truth of all things. But this is no easy task. For most souls, the intensity of the visions is so overwhelming that it becomes difficult to see through them. The Bardo Thodol advises the soul to focus on the primordial clear light during this stage. Recognizing it is the key to liberation, for it is the true essence of the mind. However, most people remain attached to these projections and cannot see the truth. Fear and attachment are the primary barriers to liberation. The visions, especially the wrathful ones, can evoke deep fear, causing the soul to pull away from the truth. But if the soul can view them as mere reflections of its own mind, it can transcend them. The teachings of the Chönyid Bardo point to the practice of shunyata, or emptiness, the understanding that all phenomena, including visions, have no inherent existence of their own. By recognizing this, the soul can remain free from attachment and fear, ultimately achieving liberation. These visions are not punishment, but an opportunity for profound self-realization. The Chönyid Bardo is a test that distinguishes those ready for freedom from those who still need further learning through rebirth. The Sidpa Bardo, rebirth. The Sidpa Bardo represents the final stage, the moment where the soul faces the decision of its next life, its next body, guided by the accumulated energy of all its actions, thoughts, and desires, known as karma. This stage is the culmination of the soul's journey, where the forces of karma draw the soul toward a new life, shaped by the emotional and spiritual tendencies accumulated throughout its past existences. The Sidpa Bardo is a time when the soul, having passed through the dissolution of the Chikhai Bardo and the intense visions of the Chönyid Bardo, now faces the pull of rebirth. The desire to be born again, to continue living, is strong and instinctual, rooted in fear, desire, and attachment. These desires guide the soul toward a new body in a process that is influenced by its karmic imprints. The soul is drawn toward new circumstances and experiences that match its inner state. If, for example, the soul carries strong fear, it may be drawn to a rebirth where it will face that very fear. Similarly, desires and unhealed emotions will pull the soul toward situations that reflect them. In this bardo, the soul encounters visions of sexual union, representing the creation of a new life. These visions invite the soul to choose a new body. If the soul can maintain detachment and lucidity at this point, it can avoid blindly following its karmic patterns and avoid undesirable rebirths. Those who are spiritually advanced may recognize these visions as illusory projections, freed from inherent reality. By maintaining calmness and awareness, they can transcend the cycle of rebirth and merge with the clear light, the purest state of consciousness. The Sidpa Bardo is the final opportunity for liberation, where the soul, guided by its own awareness, can break freed from the cycle of samsara. In the end, the Bardo Thodol is not merely a religious text, but a profound tool for self-realization. It teaches that life and death are interconnected, and the cycle of rebirth is not an endless loop of suffering, but an expression of our own choices and perceptions. Through awareness and detachment, we can transcend these cycles and find the path to enlightenment, the ultimate liberation. As Ram Dass once said, when you die, the only question that matters is, how much did you love? So, perhaps by reflecting on these teachings, we can prepare not only for the inevitable end, but also for the way we live. If you found this exploration meaningful, share it with others and subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts on the afterlife in the comments below. Together, we can continue this journey into the mysteries of existence. Thank you for watching.